Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My Zid and I welcome you. I've decided that I'm going to do a bit of a bridal makeup series. I have a binder full of makeup ideas for clients when they aren't quite sure what it is that they're looking for. And I've basically broken it up into the categories of natural, romantic, glam, period. So that's usually like vintagey, winged liner, red lips. Like nobody really ever wants to look like the 40s or the 20s, but you get what I'm saying. And then like really colorful. I've never had a bride actually want a really colorful look, but far be it from me to dissuade her. Well, no, I would dissuade her. I would be like, girl, are you sure? But if that's really what she wanted, I'm here to make the bride happy. So anyways, I am not going to go specifically in order. Today I wanted to start with the romantic eye. I think that this is a really pretty one for spring. That's why I am pulling it out right now. And since it is bridal season right now, I thought this could be some good ideas for you. Or this is also a look that you can rock for a date, you know, special occasion, if you're going to a wedding. So anyways, don't feel like that you are limited if you are not a bride. So today I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. If this isn't the most romantic palette to ever exist, I just don't know what is, okay? Okay. And then I'm also going to be using that Perfectly Wretched on the eyelid. This is from that Villains collection. This is the Jelly Much Shadow from Cruella de Vil. And I know that sounds kind of weird that I'm using a Cruella de Vil Jelly Much Shadow for a bride, but whatever, it's a great color. So I have already prepped and primed my skin. I've used a primer spray, and I'm going to do eyes first as per usual. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this color, which is Tempera, and I'm going to put it all over the lid. This color appears in a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, and it's a really gorgeous color. It has a tiny bit of shimmer, but not so much that you can't use it as a good base color. And I'm just gonna sweep it all over the lid. The next two colors I'm going to grab are these two right here. I'm going to combine them, and they are Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange. I'm just gonna stick those in the crease. So actually, the real reason why I became a makeup artist in the first place was because I, honest to goodness, could not find a makeup artist on my special day. And you know, I know that there are makeup artists. I'm originally from the Portland, Oregon area, so like obviously there are probably a bazillion makeup artists out there, but I didn't really know how to look for one. I'd never needed makeup like that. I had been taught by Brenda at the Clinique counter how to do my makeup, but otherwise I didn't really know what other options I had in terms of having a makeup artist come to my house, or you know, me go to her or whatever. So I was really scrambling last minute trying to find something, and I couldn't find anyone. So I decided that I would do my own makeup. So this was way before I had gone to school. This was before I knew anything about makeup at all. Like seriously, I knew nothing about makeup. I got several books from the library actually, because also this was kind of before like people were going to YouTube for everything. And I just like started educating myself on bridal makeup. So I think I did a pretty good job, but I also wish that I had done some things differently. I'd never drawn my eyebrows in before, so that looked super scary, and I didn't really know how. So I didn't do that. I didn't wear any false lashes, and you know, just little things like that that I wish I had. I didn't do like a contour, but at that point I was pretty skinny, so I didn't really need it. But anyways, there are things that I would do differently, but I still feel like I looked really gorgeous on my wedding day. My husband is always like, you were so pretty, and I'm like, I'm not saying I wasn't pretty, I'm just saying I could have been prettier. Could have had some brows. So anyways, I'm going to grab this color right here. This is Realgar, and I'm going to put this in the crease as well. I'm gonna try to be a little bit soft-handed with this one because I don't want this to show up as super orange, if that makes sense. I just want this to kind of deepen that crease area without imparting too much of that orangey color. So the next color I'm going to take in the crease crease is going to be this shade, it's Love Letter. As you can see, this and Venetian Red are fairly similar, but this has a little bit more of a pink and purple undertone, and this one does have a little bit of that orangey shift to it. So I wanna make sure that I'm using something that is decidedly in the pink purple family. This is going to look gorgeous if you have like green eyes. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. So obviously, I recommend to all people in the world, in the universe, to hire a professional makeup artist on your wedding day. I know that even people, like even makeup artists, or hire makeup artists on their wedding day, because we know how to do our own makeup, but you know, like sometimes we have those mornings where you go to like do your winged liner and it all just goes to heck. And then you're like, well, cool, now what? And then you waste like all of this time trying to fix your problem, and you're extra stressed because the flowers didn't come in or whatever, or you know, somebody's not coming to the wedding like they thought, or somebody is coming that you weren't expecting. Like, you already have so much on your plate, and so it really doesn't make any sense to give yourself that additional stress of having to do your own makeup. Like, I just tell people all the time, I'm like, you know what, that's something you need to save for. You need to include in the budget is a professional makeup artist. And this isn't even necessarily a plug for myself, for people in my area. Like, obviously, yeah, I would love to be hired to do everyone's makeup for their wedding day, but seriously, just hire someone, and it needs to be someone reputable. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. This is probably going to be a long video because I just talk so much, but it's really important that you hire somebody reputable. I'm just gonna throw that perfectly wretched on the lid right now, because there are a lot of people who will claim to be makeup artists, who will claim to be certified, who will say that they know what they're doing, but there are some like surefire ways to tell if somebody is not legit. So first of all, it's really, really important that you go to somebody who's super sanitary. If they start using what look like dirty brushes on you, you need to call a halt to that immediately. It is law that we disinfect our brushes and our makeup and our tools in between every single client. So if the brushes look like they've already been used, you know, and you can say like, hey, do you have like a clean brush perhaps that you want to use? And if they're like, this is not a big deal, it's fine, then just be like, then I'm gonna go elsewhere, because that's disgusting. Obviously, the quality of makeup that somebody uses in their kit is also important. I'm not saying that you have to go to somebody or use somebody who's only using like Armani and Dior and stuff, but if they're stacking their client kit full of like e.l.f. cosmetics, no offense e.l.f. cosmetics, but they might not be so legit. You really want to make sure that they're using the best quality products that they can to ensure that your makeup lasts the longest. And then when it comes to things like this, cream products, if they're dipping a brush in over and over again, then that's also really unsanitary. You're supposed to take this, put it on the finger, put it on a mixing palette. So, you know, just be aware of those sorts of things so you can make the best decision for yourself on your wedding day, and you don't end up with like pink eye on your honeymoon. Like, how horrible would that be? That would be so sad. So, or like a staph infection. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. So anyways, I'm gonna take this color, this is Vermeer, and I'm just gonna top it. I want to have like a really shimmery look on the lid. Alrighty, and now I'm gonna take these two colors, which are Antique Bronze and that Venetian Red that I was telling you about earlier, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner. I'm going to combine the two because I don't want it to be super red on the outer corner, but I do want to have that hint of color there. So this is how the upper lid is looking. I think this is just so pretty. It's super romantic. It'll look really, really gorgeous, like in lower lighting if you've got an evening wedding or something like that. But it'll also look really nice out in natural light. It'll just look a little bit lighter. Some other beautiful colors for a spring wedding or a romantic look are pinks, lavenders. You just want to be really careful if you're going with a pink palette that it doesn't look too pink, right? You don't want to look like you have pink eye on your wedding day. And you also don't want it to be too bubblegummy. Like you don't want it to seem like you've got little kid makeup on. You want to keep it, so I really recommend like roses, mauves, things like that. And then also keeping it with a neutral palette so you can kind of blend it all together. So I'm gonna just stop with the eyeshadow on the upper lid right now. And I'm going to move on to some liner and some mascara and lashes. Y'all know the drill, so I'm gonna make this real quick. Okay, so I've got the lashes and liner on. As you can see, I just did a little bit of a wing, and I'm gonna move on to my face, and then I will finish up the lower lash line after I do the face. So I'm gonna go in, like I said, I already have a primer down. First, I'm gonna go in with like a heavy duty concealer. So I'm gonna use this Hard Candy Glamouflage, and I am going to take care of just some spots that I don't love. I have this area right here, which is just kind of some hyperpigmentation, and then obviously this bad boy. I always tell my brides before the wedding day, do not touch y'all's zits. I know that it's so hard not to, but covering a flat, like a rounded, smooth surface is obviously so much easier than covering something crusty and scabby, right? Like it just makes sense, guys. So that's really what you want to focus on, is just, even if you've got a zit on your wedding day, I'm gonna be able to cover it up. But if you mess with it, then it's gonna be a lot harder and everyone's gonna know exactly what it is. So you don't want that. Now I know that y'all see a lot of videos of girls using like lipstick or, you know, color correctors, and yes, color correctors are nice, but I also don't feel like they're very necessary. I've got a hair on my nose. I also don't feel like they're all that necessary. And please, for the love, do not put lipstick all over your face. I know it's like this huge trend. Do you know how hard it is to get red lipstick off of your face? Like, it is going to stain your skin and you're gonna be really, really sad about it. So just don't do it. Okay, thanks. Bye. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this Peter Thomas Roth 24 karat gold cream. And this is a liquid highlighting cream that I just wanna dab on the high points of the face. And honestly, you can just use that same brush that you were just using for the concealer. And I'm just gonna give myself extra highlight in those places. It is gonna get covered up a little bit by the foundation, but you're gonna be able to see that extra highlight underneath a little bit. You don't want it to be like crazy, like your face looks like greasy or anything, but this is just gonna add some really nice dimension to the skin. So even if you're not much of a makeup wearer, just know that on your wedding day, you're gonna be. It's all about the coverage. I tell people you're doing your makeup for the photos, not for the guests. So it's really important to remember that a lot of professional photography, no matter whether it's inside, outside, wherever, is going to probably wash you out. And so you need to have a ton of coverage to be able to hide everything. And also, natural light is less forgiving, right? So you want to be able to hide everything and just have really good coverage so you look nice and even all over your face. And yes, I am using that CoverGirl foundation. I feel like I kind of like turned a corner with this foundation. I feel like that we've just kind of come to an understanding with each other, and I don't hate it as much. The smell isn't as off-putting as I originally thought it was. I don't know. It's a pretty good foundation. I think that's why I'm just like being more forgiving, because it is a good foundation and it's inexpensive and it's cruelty-free and you can get it literally everywhere. There's tons of shades. Like, we're just gonna power through the scent, okay? By the way, I'm like literally doing nothing very interesting after this. I have to like deliver some stuff to some people's houses. So, might go to the barber shop to get my undercut cleaned out, so Just going a little glam for the barbershop guys, I guess. So now I'm gonna use the concealer to highlight the face just like I would normally. And again, I know this feels like a lot of makeup, but we just wanna make sure that you've got good coverage on your wedding day. Now I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that maybe Peter Thomas Roth is not actually cruelty free. So I apologize for that. I genuinely thought it was when I got it. And then I have since found out that maybe not. So I'm just gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. This is just a nice warm color, and I am going to contour my face. Sorry, did I say warm color? It's a nice cooler color. Sorry. And I'm just going to warm up the face. So this is gonna be like pretty dramatic, and you do that again, right? Because you need to have good dimension for the photos. If you don't, then you're gonna look washed out and very one note. Like, you're just gonna look one note, trust me. This and the blush are usually the part that my brides are like, oh my gosh, that's so much darker than I expected. And that's good, because again, you wanna be seen in those photos, and you won't be. You won't be if you don't do it darker, I promise. It sounds crazy, but just is what it is, okay? And then I'm gonna grab a blush from my color wheel. Because I'm going a little bit more romantical, I'm gonna grab this color, and it is Icon. I'm not gonna personally put on as much blush as I would on a wedding, on a bride, because like I said, I'm going out. I don't need to look crazy, but just trust me. And then I want a really good highlight situation. So I'm gonna grab this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar. And again, we're just gonna basically put this where we put that Peter Thomas Roth cream. Pretty! I love a good highlight on the wedding day. I want to be seen from the stars. Okay, don't worry, I haven't forgotten the lower lash line. So I'm going to jump in and do that right now. And I'm just gonna take some more neutral colors along the lower lash line. I don't want to necessarily do the reds and the pinks that I was doing earlier on the upper lash, or the upper lid, because that's when you get into like, does she have an infection zone? And we don't want that, okay? So I am just going to take the burnt orange and raw sienna first. And then I'm gonna grab this Cypress Umber, and I'm going to go along the waterline. Okay, so I'm gonna set everything with powder now. I could have set the under eye, I probably should have. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I am gonna set just kind of everything with powder because we want it to last forever and ever. And then last but definitely not least, we're gonna do some lips. So I'm gonna use that Zoella and ColourPop At Me. I just really like a neutral lip for almost all brides. You either want like a neutral color or like a nice neutral pink. I don't usually recommend anything too crazy unless they're going for like a vintage look, and then red lipstick all the way. Okay, and this is my romantic bridal look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully it isn't too long. I can already tell just from the second half that I'm recording, it's kind of longish, so hopefully I can shorten this video up. But let me know if you like this, if you want to see more bridal looks. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding the bell so you get notified when I post other videos. And I will catch you on the very bridal flip side. Bye. Trust me, it's not gonna be cute. It is, no, this one. This one, huh?